So this is one of those things where you see a little bit of red and you're like, well, I don't want to take a loss. I want to win. And hope is not a strategy, but you end up holding, canceling your stop loss, doubling down on your position, and then blowing it completely because you're like, well, this has got to be the lowest point or the highest point that it's going to go. So let me stay in this trade and go take it the other way and take the win that way. And sometimes you're just having an off day and you're just wrong, and you have to accept the fact that you're wrong. And like, I'm gonna be honest, I would have lost $55. I wasn't even willing to take the $55 loss, and instead I lost everything out of sheer stubbornness. And I had when I tell you I had at least 6 opportunities to take a minimal loss, and I was just like, nah, I'm gonna hold. It's gonna do what I want it to do. It's not gonna do what you want it to do. It's going to do what it's going to do. And you have to realize that I sat in this trade all day on the idea or hope that it was going to turn out my way, knowing after a certain amount of numbers had ran up that it just wasn't. I stayed in anyway. It was just a foolish thing to do, and it cost me a lot of money, and I learned from the mistake. You're going to make mistakes. Don't make them costly mistakes like I did. Learn from my mistake. What's up, everybody, and welcome to your full transparency trading session. I'm your host, Sebastian, and I'm here to tell you I got a doozy for you today. So if you go ahead up to the left-hand corner here, you're going to see something that says $31.85. That is my current account balance on this options trading challenge account. This was a $1,000 challenge that I fully imploded in less than 3 days, to be honest. So let's get to it. All right, so we started over here with $1,000. So you're at $31, we lost $1,002. So $1,000, we went down, made a massive trade for 17 contracts. We're trying to catch, I don't know what. I wasn't paying attention. I was driving, just trying to trade, just a trade. Lost like $400 this day, 17 contracts. So we go down to 610.91. We're like, all right, cool. We're going to get it back. Next day, we, let's skip that. That's just when you make a purchase or whatever. Next day, we made some of it back. We actually got 156 and some change. Follow that up. Okay, so let me first rewind real quick. This is after 30 days of straight killing it in the game and building this account up where I could split this off and to actually make it $1,000 account challenge, because I had already built up multiple accounts, and this is the third one that I was working on. But in this one, we got a little rambunctious, it got a little random, it got a little lost in the sauce. So we're at 761. All right, we lose like 150, not that big of a deal. So then we go on to the next day. Now here's what happens. This is where the trickery happens. Did I lose 150? No, I didn't lose 150. I made money. Sorry, I made money. Going to the next day, which was the 6th. With no, I lost money this day. Then I went to the next day with 687 on the 6th, right? So on the 6th, I was like, a lot of stuff going on. It was a news day. So usually I would skip and just, trade, read the markets or whatever, or play like maybe an overnight put or call for whatever direction I is. As you can see, these were calls, these were puts. So I hop into like 10 contracts. It starts going down. I've only got 150 invested or whatever at the time. And I'm like, you know what? We're going to take a loss here. Maybe it'll flip. Like literally not looking at any charts, just maybe it'll flip. And let me tell you, hope is not a strategy. So we put the rest of our account in there. We put like another 450 in there, right? And we're like, basically just a YOLO play. If the market reverses, we'll make some good money, and if it doesn't reverse, then we'll take our loss. Now, here's what happened: is I had a stop loss set, took the stop loss off, and was like, you know what? Forget it. We'll just let it ride for the day. Obviously, it was a loss. As you can see that here, it closed with the expiration date instead of me actually closing it out because it was a lost day or whatever. 2 different price points, 300 and 310. It obviously ran up to 316 in the positive direction. So I lost all of that. And all of that is just to say it now. You may be asking yourself why I'm like, calm right now. Why I'm not freaking out after losing $1,000. And this is simple. You're going to make mistakes. When you make mistakes with real money on the line, it's going to feel 150,000 times worse than it actually does when you're losing money that is paper money. And I needed this account to go this way because I was getting cocky. You know what I'm saying? I was starting to feel myself a little bit, and I got the reality check from the marketplace like, yo, you're good, but the market is the market. You know, so I got knocked on my tush, in which I'm 1000% confident, because confidence and cockiness are two different things. I'm very confident that I'll just rebuild this right back to where it was. And, you know, my other accounts are still doing well, and my investment portfolio is growing more and more each day. So I'm very happy with all that stuff. But that isn't to say that losing $1,000 isn't very annoying. It's quite annoying. I wanted this trade to go my way, because if this trade had went my way, it was an $8,000 play. It was literally like 8-1. But because it didn't go my way, I lose $1,000, and it is what it is. I'm going to go back to the drawing board. I'm going to go back to studying. I'm going to continue going in the direction that I was going and continue building my skill set. And at the end of the day, that's what this is. This is building a skill set. You know, you never have all the skills under wraps. You're going to have days where you're just off your money and just doing it just to do it. And those are the days where you shouldn't trade. And that's why you don't have to trade every single day. Just trade the days that you feel comfortable with. Am I confident that I can make this back? Absolutely. I made it off $200. Of course I can make it back. You know, do I know how long it's going to take to rebuild account? It's at $31? No, I have no idea. Because it's going to be one small trade after small trade until I build up enough to make a larger trade and have it only be a percentage of my account. So it may take a couple of weeks. It may take 30 days. It may take 30 days plus. But I'm not deterred. I'm not worried. I'm not really that upset. I mean, I thought it was hilarious, but that's just because I'm a masochist sometimes. Yeah, if you know what I mean. It's just funny, man. I'm like, you can just realize that you're not, doesn't matter how much of a dude you are, how much you know, how confident you are in your strategy or your analysis, you can still lose, and you have to be okay with losing, but you want to lose smaller amounts. You want to get out of those losses. And this was sheer stubbornness. I can tell you my rules and my commandments that I follow, and that's why I became such a productive and good trader, is because I follow a rule set. For these here, I was not following any rules. I was not paying attention to anything. I was guessing. And I was guessing at a time of day where I don't even trade. Okay, so like, yeah, 11 a.m., 1 p.m., you know, stuff like that, 2:11. I don't even trade at these times. But feeling myself, was feeling it, and I decided, YOLO. Worst case scenario, I blow my account, and the worst case scenario occurred, and I own up to it. This is my fault. If you lose a lot of money in the market, it is 100% your fault. It is not the market's fault. It is not the market going against you. The market does what the market does, and it shows you its true colors. And I'll take you to the day of the 6th when I lost. So I go to trade, go to active trader. We'll put on the 1 hour and the 1 hour. So I was trying to trade Meta this day. And then here's where the issue came in. I wanted to trade Meta. Meta didn't have 0 DTE, which was not that important, but I really wanted to trade 0 DTE because the 3-day to expire for Meta was way more expensive than 0 DTE. And something that I noticed is that when 0 DTE becomes very popular, every now and again, you'll just see it disappear from some stocks. But like SPY and QQQ had 0 DTE, so I went ahead and went over this to QQQ. Now this is running up the entire time, okay? And I've got puts because it was falling here or whatever. And it was falling like at the beginning of the day or whatever. So I got puts for it to bounce off of this zone, and it ran up and I didn't get out. But when it hit the top of here, I was like, I saw it push down. So I doubled down and was like, okay, cool. And then it burst through and it stayed up. And then eventually it pushed down. But by the time it pushed down, you know, after like 3 hours, the theta just destroyed you. So it needs to push down all the way down here for you to make money off of it, which is why I have that reminder set. Go ahead and close that out now. Close out all these other reminders. Anytime you see a reminder set, it's because it's a level that I needed to push to for me to take profit, or, you know, something close to that, or whatever the case may be, or just a level that I need to know, like, to maybe get into a trade. So it broke here, dropped down. I started, that's what got me in the mindset of puts for the day. Started pushing down in the early market, shot up here, shot up there. You know, it kind of followed the same thing. But Apple was range bound. Apple was hard range bound until this day. And then Apple broke out. And let's go to Apple so you can see it. AAPL. Apple was hard range bound right here. And then it finally broke out. And then it super got back down. And it did there, got choppy, came up here, hit the zone, which went all the way down and stuff like that. Let me clear these out so you can see that underneath these. Clear drawing sets. Yes. Close out these alerts. Why there are so many alerts is because I like to hear the ding in my ear or whatever and make sure that I have more than enough opportunities to trade out. And then a lot of times they're just like 10 cents off a piece. So let's go ahead and zoom in. Click, click, click. Oh, too far. Click, click. All right, so you see the gap down here and it's like, okay, cool. It's pushing down there. So I'm like, maybe we're a down day. It started out down, then it shot all the way up. Then it came back down. So I stayed in it. Then it shot all the way up. And then that was Apple sticking to that same range. And then finally on the 4th hour or noon, the 3rd hour, boom, off like a freaking rocket. And I'm in puts, you know, so I'm like, whatever, we'll just hold it to the end of the day and see if it comes back down. Starts pushing down here, which gave me some like, oh, maybe it'll come on back down or whatever. Never pushed down off of that. Came to this point, stopped. Started the new candle going up more. So then, you know, you lost that trade and it's like, okay, cool. We'll start again the next day. Get to the next day and it's just like, all right, pushing down here. Starting here, started pushing down. So we get into the puts or whatever. Didn't wait for confirmation. Fired off of that. Gets all the way up here a few hours later. Now we're stuck in a trade. Barely went down for that hour, even though it was going down, which gave us confidence that it was going down. But now we've been in our trade so long, theta's ate it up again. Now it slowly pushes down all the way back down, but it's too late. You can't get your money back. Then up and down, you know? So you can never get back to this point. Even when we got here, it'd have to come all the way down here for me to like break even at that point. And it didn't. And we held that to the end of the day, added more contracts, doubled down on that one or whatever. And usually what I would do is double down on a trade that I'm already winning. And these were double down on losses, which is another foolish thing that you should not do. But like, this is about full transparency. Full transparency. I blew this account. I blew this challenge. You know, I'm still doing well in the other challenges. My investment portfolio is still growing and doing well. I still got cash that I can move in here to trade with again, but I want to try to build this up. I want to try to take this hard lump because this is going to teach me some serious discipline. And that is something that I need more than anything, is discipline. So wish me luck on building this back up to the $1,000 that I took it down from. And listen, I built the 200 to 1,000 in a fairly short period of time. That's not being cocky at all. That's just what it took. It didn't take much time to build that up because you start compounding very quickly the more days that you trade. Now, I will say you don't have to trade every single day and you should take breaks. So what I did was I took a break. I took a break from my Discord. I took a break from trading, and just instead of putting more money in here to trade with, I just went back and assessed my entire last couple of months. I've been in a trading program for, this will be the 3 months on the 17th of this month. And I wanted to be, you know, at my 90-day mark, say that I'm a much better trader than I am. And I am. I am a much better trader than I was when I came in here. But I can still lose. And we can all still lose. It doesn't matter how great a trader you are. Realize that there are days where you're just going to be wrong. The market is going to do something you can't predict. There's going to be some news that drives it some way that you're not ready for. And when that happens, take your stop loss and use it and take the loss. It is okay to lose. And that's one of the things that I struggle with, is losing. I don't like seeing the red. I want to see the wins. I've got a foot, and I was putting a lot of weight on having my streak continue. I was on a hot streak of a month. You know, I made a lot of money off of the hot streak, and I wanted my streak to continue. I wanted my streak to continue for a year, for 3 years, for 5 years. And it's not a realistic mindset to have. And so like, even in the back of my mind was like, that's not a realistic mindset to have. And I just wanted to play for a day, and I played and I lost. It's no different than going to Las Vegas and gambling. If you don't do technical analysis, chances are you're playing a game of blackjack. You're playing a 50-50 hand. You and the dealer. One of you is going to win. One of you is going to lose. The dealer won this time. And then I decided to give the dealer more money and not put any parameters or safety restrictions in place. I drove with the seatbelt off, flew out the front windshield. Okay. Hey, it is what it is, but I want to be real with you guys, and I want to be transparent. I want to show you that, yes, you can make money, and you can make it easy, and you can make it fast, but yes, you can also lose. On the other end of all of these red and green candles is always someone taking an L. This is not a friendly market where everybody's right or everybody's wrong, because it's a mean market. The market is the market. The trader is the trader. I made bad trades. It cost me. In the future going forward, I can't say I won't make bad trades again. That would be a lie. There'll be some days that I'll make bad trades, but I'll put the parameters in place to make sure that my losses are minimalized. You know, it's a lesson that every trader has to learn. Minimize your losses. Keep as much of your money as you can. And I'm out. We're going to build this back up. Guarantee I'm going to build this back up. It's going to take some time, but I'm going to build this back up. I love y'all. I'm glad I could share this with you all. You know, I don't believe in just showing wins. I believe in showing all the losses. I believe in showing it all. This is not, because the market's not just winning. If everybody in the market was winning every day, everybody would be trillionaires. We would all be the highest earning people in the world. I don't care if you're trading Forex. I don't care if you're trading futures. I don't care if you're trading options. You're going to have some losses. Learn to mitigate those losses and minimize those losses. It's your boy Sebastian. This is another Full Transparency trading session, and I'm out.